What's going on, guys? NealGuides here. Welcome back to another video. Now I'm going to show you how I got elite with a 30k team, as you can see on the screen, especially at this stage of FIFA where everyone's got complete god squads, everyone's got icons. You are completely going to be out teamed by every single person. I'm just going to show you how I did it. I'm not going to tell you what we finished on. We finished on elite, but I'm not going to say which one. All I'm going to say, it was good, but we could have done much better. But anyway, without further ado, let's just get straight into it. This is the team, by the way. It's a 30k team. You can see on the screen right now, this is the time that I bought it. It was 30k on Futbin. I know many of you people are going to complain about the chemistry styles. You don't have to use shadow on the players. You can use whatever chemistry styles you want. But for obvious reasons, you're not going to count the fitness, the cost of the manager, and the chemistry styles. And just for information, a quick tip: you don't actually buy a card and apply a shadow on him. So let's say you want to buy someone like Semedo, you don't buy him with a shadow. You don't buy the shadow and buy Semedo. You buy him with the chemistry style. So for example, Semedo costs 2.7k. You try to snipe him with an anchor or with a shadow for 2.9k. You don't actually buy him and you buy a chemistry style with him. That's just kind of the way. Before I let that put that out there. Anyway, I streamed all these games on the weekend league, twitch.tv/NealGuides, but I want to go through the highlights now and show you how I did it, show you how you can do it, and how FIFA points is not always the way forward, and how just by using skill you can improve in the weekend league. But without further ado, let's get straight into the highlights and straight into the clips. Okay, I'm going to show you my top tips and explain to you how I did it as well. Now, the first thing I want you to know is I kind of overdid it with a 30k team. Obviously, everyone has a 2 million coin team now. Casual players can get icons from icon swaps. I know you know this. I'm doing it with a 30k team because I'll be honest, if I had a 100k team, I know realistically I can get elite through. I'm not trying to be arrogant or try to sound arrogant, but I know to get elite 3 with a 100k team is pretty easy. Okay, so I thought with the 30k team makes it a bit more challenging and makes it a bit more realistic, I would say, to apply to everyone, because everyone get hold of 30k. You can get it in a day of playing FIFA. The first thing I would say is at this stage of FIFA, it's extremely hard to do this. No one's going to have good teams. I played complete team of the years, and people always have this assumption that you're always going to face an easy game. The best advice I'll ever give to you is when you see a team, of course, some people say, try not to look at the team, but always look at the team. See if your opponent's got a 5-star weak foot. See if they've got fast wingers, because that way you can be prepared. If your opponent has Sane, his left foot, he's going to cut on his left-hand side. It's important to know these things. Now, everyone's going to be parking the bus, as you can see as well. And I think at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what team you have. For example, people parking the bus against my team, I have a 30k team. I think they even went hard. I mean, it doesn't help that the fact that I play some viewers, some stream snipers, because I was streaming this all on twitch.tv/NealGuides, as I said. It doesn't help that I have my YouTube name and on my squad name. So maybe it's a bit different for me, but if you do play with a cheap team, don't expect for some special treatment. That's the first thing I would say to you. Everyone's going to play 4-2-3-1, come back in defense, and that's why good strikers is extremely important. If you have a team right now, I know not all of you have Neymar, not all of you have Eusebio, I understand that. Try to get a sniper on your striker. For example, Ben Yedder, as you can see in this instance, I had a hunter on him. Now, Ben Yedder, although a hunter is fine, finishing in this game is fundamentally broken. The best thing you can do to improve your chances in front of goal, although you forego the pace, but it's so paramount, most important, so you have someone with good shooting. So I had to put a sniper on Ben Yedder in the end, just to improve that composure and just to improve that finishing. So you have someone like Neymar, put a deadeye on him, or a sniper. If you have someone like Mbappe, put a sniper or deadeye on him. I would 100% recommend putting a sniper on most of your cards. Try to max out that composure and finishing. You're going to notice such a big difference. Second thing I want to say as well is, as I said, with a 100k team, it would have been fine with Insigne and Mertens, but it's also good to have an important cam. I'm playing a 4-2-3-1. I'll release my tactics and instructions, but I had Ben Yedder and Strike and Dembele behind. I realized that passing is also very important. One thing I struggled a lot with this team is passing. You want to get good short passing, at least 80-82, and make sure your cam has good short passing. I had Dembele on a sniper. His short passing was so bad, I had to put a deadeye on him. So obviously make sure, depending on what position, whose position where, you have the appropriate chemistry style. Now, another thing I want to say to you as well is always go near post. Near post, statistically speaking, is the easiest way to score, unless you overplay it like I did in that clip over there. You always want to go near post. Now I can tell you most of my goals derive from a near post angle like this, as you can see. Don't worry too much about what anyone else tells you. If you have someone like Neymar and you try to go the opposite way, in real life it makes sense to go, the most obvious angle. But trust me, in this game, just go near post. By the way, the record's at the bottom left. As you can see right now, we're 10-1. We lost to a game. We got really unlucky. Hit the post a couple of times. And we lost to a guy. And as you can see, even in this clip, this guy was parking the bus. So I got a bit, I suppose you could say, frustrated. But yeah, going near post is probably the easiest way you can score. Try to always go near post. Most goalkeepers don't save it. On that note, try to trick your opponent with left stick dribbling. You probably saw a little bit there. Now, in this clip, as you can see my control on the bottom of the screen, so you can always pause and see how I did something. I used 3 skill moves only: the ball roll, the drag back, and a fake shot. Those are the 3 skill moves I told you in my video, top 3 skill moves. I'll kind of go make a video on top 5 skill moves soon, but that's the only skill moves. I kept this as basic as possible, and bearing in mind I did this playing quite casually on stream, talking to the chat. So if you do see some mistakes, and sometimes I use, for example, like a step over, I didn't intend to do it. Sometimes I do a step over because subconsciously it just happens. But yeah, try to use left stick dribbling. Left stick dribbling is really, really good. The most important thing is agility and balance. As you can see, that's a fake shot there. Agility and balance is the most important thing for left stick dribbling. That's why players like Benyetta, they feel so good on the ball, because left stick dribbling, like players like Promez, they use a super sub. All the players, the way they turn is all defined with agility and balance. So try to find a player with a good agility and balance. This game we struggled a lot. I remember now, I think at this point the servers were diabolical. People were getting DC'd. I never got DC'd, thank God, but I was under so much lag. And I think at this point I wanted to give up. Now, I don't really give up challenges too much, but it was so frustrating to play against everyone. Like, as you can see on comeback on the fence, park the bus, and just to create the angle, then to only miss, it made it so difficult. And the fact that I hit the post so many times just made it even worse as well. There isn't a perfect time to play Futchamps, I'll be honest. I was so unlucky when I played. I thought if I leave my games till Sunday and champs got sent to Monday, I will have less delayed games because the servers would be not as loaded, people will be at work. It turned out to be the complete opposite, or it was almost like the delay was worse than on the weekend. So although in theory you can say nighttime is good, it isn't really the best. And on that note, try to get the first goal. This game I was conceding. If you're playing Foot Champions, you need to get the first goal. It is the most important thing, because as you can see, this game I was so frustrated on. I think the game before we lost, we basically lost, and I went in bed. I was tired. I didn't want to play anymore, but the servers were too bad. But anyway, I played this game. Once you're 1-0 down, it's going to be so hard to come back against your opponent, because most players, they have 2 formations. I find they have an attacking formation like a 4-2-3-1. Maybe the lineman around will come back on offense, and their cam on balance, and their strike on stay forward. Then they have a complete park the bus formation. They have a comeback on offense on every single player, 2 depth, drop back. And that's a situation you don't want to get yourself into. Try to concentrate, get the first goal, and then chill. Because if you don't get that first goal, you're going to have to climb a mountain to come back. And that's what I found. If you concede first, I'll be honest, this weekend league, I expected if I conceded first, I knew I was probably going to lose the game. Because as I said, going back to analogy with the good players, if, for example, someone like Neymar, if in a 1v1 situation, he'll score like 4 out of 6, maybe 5 out of 6 times. Someone like Benyetta or Dembele, they're only going to score 2 or 3 out of 6. So if you only have 6 chances the entire game, you're really restricting yourself. So you really want to get that first goal, so you're not on a back foot, because when you're on a back foot, you got to start pressing. And as you can see, this is left stick dribbling, as you can see. This is why left stick dribbling is so OP. Try to do the extra thing. It's all about deception. You see, when it comes to skill moves, even if, for example, you do something, you just want your opponent to second guess. Like, for example, here, I went that way, then I turned around again. Now, although this is, you can say, overcomplicating it for no reason, but in the second time I do it, as you can see, I'm tricking my opponent. He doesn't expect to drag back there. You see, unfortunately, I miss in the end. But even if you do a skill move, you want to add an element of doubt into your opponent's head. So whenever you do a skill move, even if it doesn't work out, don't worry, don't sweat it. It's all about giving your opponent a doubt. So if you do a fake shot the first time and you go left, then next time you do a drag back and you go back. Then the third time he thinks, are you going to do a fake shot and go left? Are you going to go drag back, go right? Then let's say you do a ball roll, it completely messes up his thought process. And then in the end, what happens is he defends a different way, is to give you space. So that's the best advice I would say to you. If you don't use skill moves, please introduce skill moves into your game. Now I figured out as well, I used to get counter a lot in this game. I struggled really, really bad in counter attacks. I tried to bring this guy down because I'll be honest, I knew against player than Neymar, I would have been screwed. Here's a perfect example of why I play fullbacks and centre back. You probably saw in the first couple of minutes. The recovery is amazing. One of the advice I'll give to you as well is use a defensive formation. The mistake I made, as you can see, I'm 20-2 right now. I set myself benchmarks. I wanted to get 15-1. 20 and 18-2, 23 and 4 is kind of what was my benchmarks. I kind of I'm on target, should I say, 20-2. As I said, at the end of the day, Elite 3 was only the objective. Green time shots, by the way, is not worth doing. As you can see, 3 hours left, 21-7. Now, never leave your games last minute. All the guys that I played now are complete tryhards because they're trying to get the highest rank. People try to play late to get an easy game. By the way, this player that I played, he was an Elite 1 player. Fantastic player. This is the only game I think I deserve to lose in the whole weekend league. You know, it's the difference between Elite 1 and Elite 3 players. See, I moved his goalkeeper. I had normal Dembele. If I had someone like Neymar, I could have squared it across goal. And that was our third loss in the end. The previous 2 losses, we got really unlucky. But that loss we deserved, that game we deserved to lose. A fantastic player, and I messaged him. He said, I think he was an Elite 1 top 100 player. But a lot of the players, you know, they leave their games last minute. I'm not saying he does, but I'm saying just generally every single player I played after this, they all parked the bus, they all passed the ball around for ages like they're Pep Guardiola. And they just hold the ball because they want you to leave to get an easy win. That's the way it happens. So try not to leave your games last minute because that's what everyone is doing. This situation, 21-3, a couple of games left now, and we go into the next game. Now this is the game to get Elite 3. I'll be honest, I just wanted to end it at this point because I was just getting tired. I'll be honest, I was getting frustrated, hitting the post left, right and center, people parking the bus. I was just kind of getting tired. As I said, no one's going to go easy on you, even if you've got a cheap team. I think I proved that already. Playing with a cheap team is not easy. Some people have this belief that, it's mainly Gold 3 players, have this belief that if you got a cheap team, somehow you get some advantage. I don't know what they're thinking about. If you're a Gold 3, if you're below Gold 3, I don't know why they think this. Anyone who wants to play with a cheap team, you can see how hard it is. The reason why I kind of made this video is sometimes you play better with a cheap team. For example, my main team, I have David Villa on the pitch. I have Ben Yedder, I have Dembele. By the way, I can't believe he missed that. So it's a bit easier. It's a bit easier for you because it's a bit easier for you to play with a cheap team because you make the right decision. Whereas in my main team, I would see Neymar and I would pass to Neymar in the wrong position. It's kind of like when Henry left Arsenal. You know, we played very well in the 06-07 season. Sorry, 07-08 when he left because of obviously Henry left, and then I think together as a team collectively, Arsenal played better because we didn't always pass the ball to Henry. That's kind of the way I like to look at it. It's kind of the same thing. But anyway, this is the game in the end. We ended up getting the win in the end, and that was the game to get Elite 3. As you can see, that's my tags. If you do see me, please don't hold the ball against me. Please just play normally. But yeah, anyway, we're 23-4 at this point. Now, I'll be honest, I wanted to go to Elite 1 because I thought, you know what, it's getting tight, couple hours left. I had to play my alternate as well. I wanted to get Elite 1 because it would have been a really good achievement to do it, especially at this stage of FIFA. Especially doing this quite casually playing in stream. As you can see, this game I was 1-0 down. And this is, for me, this is the final straw. This guy legit, 30 million coin team, parked the bus, R9, etc, etc. Played for penalties. Can you imagine? Against a 30k team, passed the ball around, come back on defense, everyone played for penalties on a Monday morning. I couldn't believe my eyes. So this is, for example, a kind of person that's a tryhard, and I end up losing that game. And I'll be honest, at this point, if I wanted to get, I think Elite 1, I had to win all my games. And I'll be honest, at this point, I lost my mind. This is the next game. Whenever you take an L, make sure you take a break. For example, that game was penalties. Okay, yes, that happens sometimes. You don't always win penalties. Please take a break. This game I went straight into and I hit the post once. I'll be honest, at this point, I was just giving up. I was frustrated. I was angry. Couple of minutes on, later on in the game, a beautiful play Morales, ball away from him, create the perfect angle, extra touch, again, hit the post. At this point, I was done. Extra time we take it into. Extra time I knew was GG. I got no stamina. One more final chance, and I hit the post again. And I'll be honest, that was a final straw for me, and I lost my third game as well. So but in the end, I had 23 wins and I had 4 games remaining, and I think I lost all 3 games in a row. The final game I didn't play, so basically I went from a position where I had Elite 2 guaranteed, ended up rushing my games. As I'm trying to say, always take a break. Whenever you take an L, just please take a break. Don't make the same mistake I did. I was obviously rushing because I only had 1 hour left and I had to play my games, and I also had to play my alternate as well. But as you guys know, in the end, didn't have enough time. So yeah, I think realistically we should have finished on Elite 2. So I'm realistically, if we did continue properly, we would have probably, I don't think Elite 1 we would have made it. It would have been too hard. But 25 wins out of 30 would have been acceptable. But anyway, we reached the objective anyway. This is a team. In terms of who let me down, I'll be honest, Martial let me down a lot. He's honestly shambles. Don't use him. By the way, I wouldn't recommend using this team for your own sanity, but if you wanted to. The second thing I would say is Areola. He let me down as well. Areola's the kind of goalkeeper. Once you have Ter Stegen in your team, you can't ever change him. With Ter Stegen, you need to have him in your team at all times. When I moved to Areola and I played a full weekend league with him, I realized how important Ter Stegen is. Areola basically saves nothing. It's only if you go complete trial and you stop your opponent from having chances, he's sometimes good. But most of the time, he saves nothing. So get Ter Stegen here, and then Areola, and get some Martial, get someone else. In terms of the subs, I use Bamin. I didn't really use him that much. The main 3 subs I use is, I don't want to embarrass myself, but I think it's Achampong. I think that's how you say his name. This guy was a goat, cost 700 coins, by the way. Agility and balance is the main thing. Subbed him on as a lamb instead of Martial in the final closing minutes. Ended up using a Tal. He again cost 700 coins. Really good acceleration, really good sprint speed. I used to play him in centre mid, so I used to sub off someone like Goretzka just to give me a bit more oomph in midfield. He has a 5-star weak foot as well, so you can help join the attack. And then I had Promes was the other sub I used, and then I had Morales that I used. He cost 700 coins as well. Those are the subs. As I said, there's no points. Bronze benching. Nothing really happens when you bronze bench. I still face God squads. But anyway, this is just, as I said, I'm not going to do this again. I don't think I really want to do this ever again. But this is just to prove that even if you play casually and you have the skills, you can still do very well in Weekend League. Yes, team is very important. But as I say to everyone, that's in my FIFA school, and I say to everyone in general, yes, team is important. It can get you somewhere better than where you already are with your skill level. By the end of the day, if you learn the basics and you do it correctly, that's all you need to win. When I'm up against fellow elite players, I think my skill level, I can beat an elite 3 player, maybe an elite 2 player with this team. However, when I'm facing elite 1+, I think at that stage, that's when team's really going to let me down. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Take it easy. Don't forget twitch.tv/NealGuides. Link will be in the description. Thank you very, very much for watching. Have a nice day, and I'll catch you again. I think I'll release the formation tactics you want me to do it. Let me know in the comments down below as well. Probably release that in the next couple of days. But peace out, guys. Take it easy, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.